Is Skyblock just not feeling fun anymore? Obviously it's not a problem with the game, 20,000 people wouldn't play it if it was bad, so you might think you just have a skill issue. Now don't worry, we'll take a look at the most common reasons players touch grass and how you can avoid doing so yourself. And at the end of the video, I'll tell you how I had this exact same problem, and how I eventually came back to Skyblock and even made a YouTube channel about it. Now first things first, Skyblock is a grindy game. If you find it boring, maybe it's just isn't for you. Maybe consider a different game, whether that's a Hypixel minigame or something random on Steam. Who knows, maybe you'll find a game you really love. Now, this is what I expect most of you to be here for. Your brain wants this addictive chemical called dopamine. And lucky for you, your brain has an infinite supply of it. Just do something that you enjoy and your brain will get flooded with it. But if you do something too much, your brain gets kind of desensitized to this chemical, and you can't get that happy juice to make you happy anymore. This is called burnout, and rather than just finding the game boring, it's the brain equivalent to lifting 400 pounds. It's a little bit painful. The easiest way to get burnout is to do boring, repetitive stuff a lot. Now I get it, foraging 50 isn't going to make itself, but there are a couple things you can do to avoid developing burnout. Instead of going for foraging 50 in one sitting, try to throw in some variety into your experience, whether that's slayers, decorating your island, or even doing a different monotonous grind to break up the long sessions like mining comms or a farming contest. And most importantly, don't spend all day every day playing Skyblock. I don't really know what you expect from no-lifing the game other than burnout, so just keep the sessions a reasonable length. Keep in mind that the easiest way to treat burnout is to not get burnout in the first place, so these tips are for everyone. That's how you prevent burnout, but what if you already have it? Well, the answer is quite simple. Take a break. Well, I know, you want to have Skyblock level 4 quadrillion and be the endest of endgame players before the foraging update comes out, but if you don't take a break now, you won't be able to make it to the foraging update in the first place. Try seeing what's hot on Steam, or play some Bed Wars, I don't care. Just do anything other than left clicking for 5 hours non-stop. Take a few weeks off or a few months off, however long it takes for you to be itching to get back into the grind. It can be months or well over a year, but you'll probably find something else you enjoy in the meantime. Now, I'm sure there are people who couldn't care less about the leading cause of losing interest in the game and rather just don't know what to do next. This can apply to both early game and end game players alike, but I'll start with the early game. Skyblock literally has thousands of hours of content to play, so it makes sense that you are lost in it. But luckily, there are numerous quest lines inside the game to guide you, and there are gameplay guides in the forums that I have linked in the description down below. But if you know what item you want to get and don't know how to get it, there's always the official wiki to check out. Also in the description if you are too lazy to type this objectively easy link yourself. Oh, well, hello toothless_plush. I see you're endgame and don't know what to do next. Well, have you considered punching wood? Now, I get it, there are some aspects of the game you outright don't enjoy, or you're waiting for the devs to wake up and release the foraging update, but you can't come here wondering why you can't find anything else to do in this game when your stats look like this. Also, no offense to Toothless Plush, by the way, I just need an example. And since you're endgame, I'll assume you know what the game offers, so have you considered, how do I put this? Touching grass, moving on with your life? Games like Skyblock aren't meant to be played forever, even though 14,000 hours is basically forever, but we don't talk about that. Again, please, just move on. Play something trending on Steam or Bed Wars or Windcraft, but you are done with Skyblock. Please stop holding on to it so tightly. It's just a game. But what if your soul has been completely consumed by Skyblock and there is no leaving? Well, I'm surprised by the amount of people who dismiss the idea of playing Iron Man because they'd rather buy a Devon's alloy off the auction house than actually grind for it. But let me ask you this. Would you feel more satisfied if you craft a Devon's drill from A, an alloy obtained by yourself, or B, an alloy you bought off the AH? Now, sure, you'll spend a lot more time grinding than on a normal profile, but if you literally ran out of things to do on a normal profile, you clearly have absolutely no problem with disgusting grinds. And there's of course Stranded, if you're into that sort of thing. But no, try it, do it, try it, because you don't know if you like it until you try it out, so just do it. Now you may be wondering how I solved this problem myself. Now a couple years ago, I was playing on my Iron Man profile, not the one I'm currently making a series on, the older one. I was vibing, doing some mining, doing some dungeons, doing some slayers, and then some mining, and then some dungeons, and then some more slayers, and then some more mine. The grinds were really starting to get repetitive, with me spending hours upon hours punching blocks that were meant to be in an ocean monument, but were apparently also good for caves? And mining for so long for such an extreme grind with such a terrible setup is what triggered my burnout. Even after giving up on the grind, playing the game just wasn't the same anymore. And then the Crimson Isle came out, and despite the many hours of fun gameplay this added to the game, I just still didn't have the motivation to continue playing. I started logging in less and less, and eventually just stopped playing Skyblock altogether in favor of touching tall grass? So why am I here today? What happened? Well, it took quite a lot of time. I believe it was around 18 months between the last time I was active and when I returned, and I mostly just returned one day because I was bored of watching YouTube. I heard about a few new updates to the game and I was like, ooh, Wizard Portal update, why not join and figure that out? Joined the Rift, ew, didn't enjoy it, but the garden was something else. Now, sure, there's no shortage of people who roast the garden 24/7, but for some reason, I just really got into it. There was just something about the amount of attention needed. It felt like the perfect balance between boring and entertaining for a grindy game like Skyblock. Now, of course, I'm talking about the days before the pest update. But the point is that I was out of the game for a year and a half, but I still ended up getting back into the game again. It doesn't matter if you're going to take a vacation from the game for a few weeks or over a year. Playing video games is not about work and progression, it's about having fun. So don't feel bound to a game you don't enjoy playing. Try another game, whether it's just for a week or two, or a year or two, and who knows, maybe that game you'll find will be the game you enjoy for years to come. Oh yeah, and another big thing that keeps me going is my YouTube channel. Wait, I swear this isn't a plug, subscribe. But think of it as playing single player Minecraft versus joining a server with your friends. Sure, the single player world will be fun for the first few times as you explore the world, or maybe check out a new update, but ultimately the feeling of meaninglessness will catch up to you. This is because humans are social creatures, and we love sharing the progress we made with the outside world. Whether that is posting this cool build you made on Reddit, or making a whole YouTube channel centered around what is basically just glorified cookie clicker. It's completely natural to lose interest in Skyblock if you aren't sharing your progress, because it is meaningless to play a game with no end reward all by yourself. Whether it's playing with your guildmates, making a YouTube video about it, or streaming it, the biggest motivator in games like Skyblock is being a part of its massive community. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.